on the old laptop. The version came out roughly yesterday. I think it was. Where I was introduced to a new atrocity. What was, yes, it was Sunday. No, I definitely think it was Monday. Regardless, when I came in to do dailies, I saw the atrocity. I forgot to buy these, so now I have to pay full price. Probably just buy this and at some point. Okay, it's not available in this menu. Here it is. This atrocity. That is, if you manage to pull him, you get this item, but only if you own him. This patch. And you can wear this on top of your alongside. It's not considered a headpiece. You can. Since you can wear it with your headgear, like here it is, me with the headgear from already, and this. So it's a I guess it's a backpack. Let's see, that looks like a backpack. So it's in essence, a backpack that floats behind. If you get a new blade, I'm not gonna care about it. I would be more likely to pull again for another saber, but I'm gonna save my tickets just in case. Something similar with Archer happens, since I don't know when that next part 2 of the Fate collab is going to happen, and of course I don't see any warning things. It still says this, meaning will the other two just join these guys inside of this long-term banner? I only got my Arteria half done so far, and that's not even counting her light cones, which I would need more of her light cones since I've been working on her. Well, as for those who don't know, when the collab came around before, there was something if you spend a certain number of pulls, you would be given this light cone for free. So yeah, and since he was free, so I went off and, well, got Arteria and her light cone, meeting the requirements for it. I think it was like 300 pulls or so. Or was it 200? It was one of those numbers. Definitely more than 100. And if that's the case, since what I've heard from the event is you can get a free Gilgamesh or Archer from basically some shorts that I've been seeing. So I'm wondering, will you be able to get one of their light cones for free? Probably just be taking Gilgamesh, and if they do provide, give you a chance to get a free light cone, I would probably choose Gilgamesh's just to have it. But of course, then I saw people making fun of Lancer, who's always left out and just dies in the background. So yeah, I'm not gonna bother pulling on him. But doesn't change the fact we can go out and try him before I go off to the main story. Also, I did notice while doing the you gain access to even trial characters. To some trial characters. A limited list of trial characters, but you still get access to characters you don't own. Not up to certain limits, like I guess they're like basically it looks like most characters that were released before Silver Wolf. Level 999, where I could find in a DU which I didn't own. Oh, it's at most. I believe there were some that were missing. Okay. Is he does that.
Try to trick me.
Why don't we for it?
Try to trick me.
So does it engage battles? Yep. So it's just a an maybe if he becomes a rerun character, maybe I'll get him in the reruns. Maybe if.
Tempered 1,000 times.
Darn it.
Fight to the death.
Forgot to fast forward. Let me restart that. Let's try that again.
Why don't we for it?
Merely another soul. Torn flesh tempered 1,000 times into a blade!
Take off together!
Sins must be paid.
They completely lost themselves. They need some sunshine. Oh, you like you.
Cry wolf.
So what do you say if we just leave it like this for a bit?
May this faint light dispel the gloom, restore clear skies. Once more.
Go and fight to the death. I offer my blood to beasts. Come and slaughter each other. Sins must be paid.
Take off together!
Go and fight to the death.
Purgatory, take hold!
Sins must be paid.
Okay, well, so what does he say if we just let him sit here?
Delay much longer, and the sword's intent may turn cold. Return from death 1,000-fold. Burn this broken shell. You will serve as the temporary fire!
Go and fight to the death.
Until now.
Let me go!
Purgatory, take hold!
Oh, that's savage.
Have some
blades eternal! You will serve as the tempering fire!
Guiding the west wind, away we go!
Beasts slaughter each other! Arthur and I.
Seatbelt City has been severely affected by the incident. Citizens are advised to remain patient and await assistance. Moving on to our special segment, the Phantom Moon Brief.
You're back! The incident that happened at Full Wish TV is causing a huge stir. Come watch the news!
Hello, everyone! Welcome to our brand new segment, the Phantom Moon Brief. I'm your host, Poofy.
Hi, everyone! This is your old friend, Snowy!
Well then, as the Phantom Moon games reach a boiling point, and for reasons that need no explanation, we are now joining Duo Mention TV to bring you live coverage of the latest and most critical news updates.
Yes, we are! And after the director of Full Wish TV and sponsor of the Research Society of Happy Smiles, Full Wish announced that she was joining the Phantom Moon Games! That terrifying tragedy of 15 years ago once again swept through the psionic game!
The supplicant debate, slated to take place at the Seafeld TV tower, was cut short when out-of-control Imaginee known as Joy Ascendants appeared suddenly and launched an attack. This Imagenesis plague centered on Seafeld City spread rapidly. Even Full Wish herself turned into a monster atop the Seafeld TV tower.
As of the latest reports, nearly 200,000 human and Imaginee inhabitants across plain Arcadia have been affected by the plague. Countless individuals are injured or missing, and total losses are estimated to have reached 8.6 billion credits.
Yes, these two are going to again put the blame on the Trailblazer. These two puppets. I wonder, are these like two just hand puppets? Seeing that they are here, shouldn't they be gone? In terms of since they were in that TV tower. And if since they're clearly are not telling her the source of the problem, the Full Wish lady the source of the problem, meaning they're still going on the parade of calling the Trailblazer the villain, most likely. Well, let's find out.
And in a chilling echo of the Bloodstained Games 15 years ago, footage left behind by Full Wish points to the disaster as the work of supplicants from beyond the sky.
She identified the culprits as the famed cosmic hero, the Trailblazer of the Astral Express, and the wanted criminal, Stellaron Hunter Blade, claiming they were responsible for the tragedy.
But a spokesperson for the Department of Aberration Defense said the disaster was planned and executed by Full Wish herself through her organization, the Research Society of Happy Smiles. They added that the investigation will continue and the organization will be shut down.
Oh, how familiar that sounds. 15 years ago, they made the same excuses. What is the real story behind this? The Phantom Moon Brief will continue to keep you updated.
You question, why were these even permitted to continue going in all practical purposes since they were on her payroll? Shouldn't they be gone? The puppeteer be gone if these are, since in the show they were if in the last patch they were clearly being affected, which means they have either meaning that puppeteer was lost, or they have couple of puppeteers, or copy paste, or if they're imagining, they're copy pasted.
Over 500 years ago, a prophet made a prediction. In year 1999, a terrifying devil will descend from the sky. Will this prophecy come true? Can Plain Arcadia safely make it through this crucial year? We will have to wait and see.
Shame on them. How can they just say things like that on TV when it's not even confirmed? And the internet is flooded with fake news about you too. Also, those two hosts, weren't they from Full Wish TV? They were spreading nasty stories about you on the news before. And now look, they've immediately jumped ship after what happened to Full Wish. Ever since coming to Plain Arcadia, nothing surprises me anymore. I'm happy you made it back safely, but somehow, you just don't seem quite the same. Oh no. You're trying to grow up and leave me behind. Don't tell me you're becoming the next Don Hung. No! Is this what it takes to become a hero? am so cute and lovely. What's the problem with that?
Your whole entire character is atrocious.
Oh, right. Tell me about what happened at the TV tower. I've heard Don Hung and Sunday's side of the story.
Blah 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 blah.
So, Full Wish had people undergo the happiness surgery to implant Shuhu's flesh into their bodies, and that ended up causing this disaster? And you guys stopped the mutation from spreading, but all you managed to do was to temporarily seal Shuhu's flesh inside Blade? And then you mentioned that Nessia, the one we met at Star Rail Fest, is actually the Phantasmoon Games arbitrator? No wonder she could draw a mask for you. And she also asked you to go deep into the world in Canvas to warn, who?
Yes, Graphia, Himiko's ancestor. She's an artist from 1,000 years ago.
Himiko's ancestor? She's still alive? Wait, that's not even the most important part. Nessia asked you to warn Graphia that the Lord Ravager, Asat Pramod, is back? Oh, why does the Express have such bad luck? By this point, whenever we go on vacation, I'm always ready to deal with random problems. But running into another Lord Ravager while on vacation? This is way over the line.
Since when you thought it was going to be vacation? I never saw it as a vacation. I knew this was going to happen. We don't get days off. Ever. You should even figure that out. Yeah, but I thought for once we caught up. We got caught up in the Phantasmoon Games. You thought it's gonna be simple? Of course we wouldn't have a relaxing time. Huh?
Lord Ravager, at Venessia's request, Shuhu's flesh and Blade's body, and the unfinished Phantasmoon Games. Suddenly, there are so many things to deal with. Feels like we're juggling a bunch of eggs all at once. One slip, and it's all gonna go splat. Are you okay?
When am I ever okay? No.
I wish I were as calm as you. I'm gonna go take a minute and collect myself.
So many things to deal with right now. Oh, what should I do next? Nah, I've had a long day. I should just get some rest.
Why did you go up to your bed?
Welt. She's tired. Let her sleep. You're obviously tired. I never thought this vacation would become the prelude to yet another major war. From our very first steps, trouble has always followed the Nameless. But this is way too much. Look at you now. It takes me back to when I first got the Express running again. Aside from Pom Pom, I was the only crew member on board, constantly stretched thin and feeling out of my depth. All I could do was note every problem in the navigation log, one by one. A world's coordinates that needed an update. A glitch in the Express's warp system. The notes were as dense as the coordinates on the astral charts, leaving me completely overwhelmed. Back then, I never imagined the Astral Express would one day have to face a Lord Ravager. But strangely, now that the time has come again, I'm not panicking at all. Come to think of it, it's because of you. Because of all of you. Along the way, we have defeated 2 Lord Ravagers. The Nameless who guided me before I set out once told me, "Keep moving forward, and the obstacles that once felt impossible to conquer will soon be behind you. And along the way, you'll find companions who are just like you." I've seen you grow through the Phantom Moon games, becoming someone others can trust and lean on. And I heard the declaration you made atop the tower. I'm truly proud of you. That's why I want to share a story from the past with you. A promise from 15 years ago. I promised someone that when the moon over my hometown was full again, I would go back to see her, to let her know I had made the most of this borrowed life, and found companions I could trust with all my heart. I want to share this story with you all. The story of how my journey began. Because it's a long story, filled with many memories of my past. I'd also like to invite you all to the place where I repaired the Express and tell you everything bit by bit.
All right, it's a deal. When I return from the world in canvas, you can make us, let Shush make us some coffee. Then we'll settle in and listen to your story.
Speaking of the world in canvas, March told me about what Evanesia said to you. Evanesia's request was not made lightly, and she was worried for a reason.
Silverwolf saw that Lord Ravager in action too. According to the records from the databank and the IPC's investigation, Asat Pramod's campaigns often span centuries, and the planets he targets all end up destroyed in freak accidents, leaving their surfaces covered in only smiling faces. 1,000 years ago, my ancestor Graphia created the world in canvas. If that was to resist Asat Pramod's invasion of Ahatopia, then could this disaster unleashed through the Phantasmoon games be the prelude to his next invasion? Good question. As for who in Plain Arcadia knows Graphia and the world in canvas best, it's probably Pearl. She was sent here by the IPC. She should have some clues to guide us in the right direction. By the way, General Yao Guang is here. She says she wants to talk to you in private. I'm not sure if she comes with good news or bad news. She brought a little gift from the Cienjo, though. Mung bean soda. Go talk to General Yao Guang, then. Don't keep her waiting. After that, come to the party car and fill us in on your next move.
Nice to meet you, Ishvara. I always thought that the arbitrator, Evanesia, would step in and punish Fullwish for the disaster she caused. But, to my surprise, it was you who defeated Fullwish. In my capacity as an Arbiter General, I extend my deepest gratitude to you for halting the plague and sparing countless lives from suffering. What I am about to tell you is something Evanesia risked breaking the rules to share with me. Please keep it a secret. Not a word of this leaves the Express. Sealed within Ahatopia's core is Ouroboros, the Veracity. Wait, you've never heard of the Veracity before? Come to think of it, they must be unfamiliar to most people.
No, I know it.
They were supposed to be recorded in the list of arch-enemies as an author of calamity. They are an ancient god of desire and consumption. An eon that evolved from a leviathan.
Well, yeah, I know that since I met it inside of the simulated universe. And why do you say you don't know it? I just want to see how much you know. Okay.
But they disappeared so long ago that the Cienjo Alliance never witnessed any of their deeds. And they were never recognized as an author of calamity. Well, they need no such title anyway. Beast of Calamity, Star Devourer, Void Maw. Just hearing these names, one can imagine what kind of monstrosity they were. A vast, writhing form whose slightest movement could crush entire planets, before swallowing what remained into an insatiable abyss. Rumor has it, they were last seen during the era of the Swarm disaster. They were hardly there to aid the Swarm, but rather to attend a cosmic-level feast, in which the Swarm served merely as appetizers, and the planets they passed were devoured as the main course. No one expected them to be here of all places, sealed away on this very planet, after vanishing for years. The true situation remains unknown. But with this information, we can understand why Asat Pramod set his sights on this world. Aren't you a little afraid? facing a huge disaster like this? That's impressive, Ishvara. No wonder you survived the calamity of Iron Tomb. Fortune follows when fate hits its lowest ebb. Every crisis comes with an opportunity. Now that we know a force capable of devouring stars is deep in slumber at this planet's core, perhaps we could make it devour the problem inside Blade's body. It might just be a risky path worth taking. Blade has agreed to my proposal and will venture into the world in Canvas to seek out the veracity. From what I've heard, you are going there as well? I cast a divination, and the hexagram shifted between the marsh and fire trigrams, yielding the judgment. Heaven and earth are separate and apart, but the work which they do is the same. In other words, though your paths may differ, they are destined to intersect. What miracle could cap off these games better than a finale that humbles a Lord Ravager? It will be a tribute to the elation. The shadow of the Lord Ravager looms, and from here on, everyone must carry their part of the burden. I will take my leave first.
Before I set out, I still want to say a few words to everyone. What are they all up to over there?
Oh, there you are. We were waiting for you.
We're here to celebrate the Astral Express making it through another trial, of course. Pom-Pom's heard all about your latest adventure.
It's a modest celebration, but a meaningful one. You stopped Full Wish's scheme, and that is no small achievement. Regardless of what the people of Plain Arcadia or the media may say, we raise a glass to you.
Exactly. You knocked out the mastermind behind all those creepy whatever their name is. I didn't get to see it myself, but Don Hung described it for me. You killed it!
Your victory gave Blade a chance to free himself from Shuhu's flesh. Thank you.
With a Lord Ravager looming on the horizon, everyone will soon be heading off on their own missions. Before that, it felt right to have a small gathering like this.
Now, let's make a toast. Here's to everyone who fights to protect this Arcadia. And here's to all of us. The Lord Ravager can throw whatever he wants at us, but I know the Astral Express will keep streaking across the stars.
Thank you. All of you. Having you by my side is what gives me the courage to face the future. I'll carry this strength with me through the rest of this journey.
Cheers!
There you are. March and I were talking about you. Yeah, of course.
When? Hung start expressing his feelings like this? I guess pigs really do fly.
This trip to Plain Arcadia is the first time we weren't necessarily working together toward a common goal. You dove into the Vantis Moon games. I crossed paths with that relentless old friend and foe again. As for March, well, she spent her time wandering and eating. Her perfect little vacation.
Wait, hold up. How come all I get is wandering and eating? I grab plenty of comics as well. I call it cultural exploration. With a little extra time for me to recharge, of course. Right?
Now that we're having this little break, it hit me that I might have neglected you and March.
Yeah, we are actually more concerned about your condition, Dan Hung.
Blade has accepted General Yao Guang's proposal. Perhaps he has finally moved on from past grudges and that abundance curse, and is now ready to do something for himself. It's going to be a path fraught with danger, so I had hoped to accompany him for a bit longer, but he refused. From now on, I will turn my attention to this world. Mr. Yang and I have been asked by General Yao Guang to help with setting up some defensive formations.
I've got work to do too. Mr. Ashvale wanted someone to accompany him to the tavern to investigate clues about Asat Pramod. Yours truly figured she'd been resting long enough, and it was time to stretch her legs. So I volunteered. No problem. When you come back, you have to share everything you saw in the world in Canvas.
Just in time. I've talked to Madame Pearl. She will handle all the arrangements for your passage, so you can enter the world in Canvas to find my ancestor Graphia. Actually, I hoped you could take some time to rest first. Once you've fully rested, you may make your way to the dock in Seafeld City. Madame Pearl has a special ship waiting for you there. It will take you to the border between this world and the world in Canvas, a place known as Inkford Hermitage. That's your final stop before entering the world in Canvas, a place to gather your supplies and rest up before you set out on the journey ahead. I know you'll have to go alone this time, but I don't think it'll be dangerous. After all, that realm was created by Graphia, my ancestor. The thought of it makes me feel calm, in a strange but comforting way. If you get to meet her, please give her my regards. Please tell her that one of her descendants became a nameless on the Express. Go ahead. Set out once you've rested up. I'll be here with Welt and the others, awaiting good news from you.
In other words, that woman wants you to take Shuhu and jump straight into the Veracity and leave the rest to the Eon stomach acid? And this is between me and him, right? Why are you tagging along?
Relax. I'll say my goodbyes and be gone. A dignified funeral, If you ask me, this ending is indeed grand enough.
I don't care about any of that. There's only one thing I care about. Does he have to die?
Here's a piece of advice, little cub. Whether he lives or dies is his choice. That's the one thing you don't get to decide for him.
Okay, I need to go drive my dad somewhere. Come back. Hopefully the laptop doesn't go to sleep. We can have...
What?
Nothing. Just a seabird landing on the rocks. A blade forged of mortal steel cannot sever an undying fate. If Shuhu is to be put down, the options are few. And that Leviathan is one of them.
In time, people will say this. The culprit of the Juming gave his life for the greater good, and plunged into the abyss alongside the abomination.
I'm not as noble as you make it sound. Many years ago, you invited me to join the Galaxy Rangers. I refused for one reason. I'm a petty man. I was never born to carry some greater good. This is between Shuhu and me. Nothing more.
Can't argue with that. A Galaxy Ranger through and through. Well then. I won't say anything more.
Blade, you sure about this?
For years, death has clung to me like a curse, etched into my bones. If there is a chance to make a god feel the same pain, I would do it, even if this body is reduced to ash. As for everyone else, there's no need to drag them into this. We'll proceed as Yao Guang proposed. Bury Shuhu at the end of the world in canvas, taking me with him, and let the veracity dissolve us both.
Take care.
How about you stay as well? You might as well see it through to the end with us.
Plain Arcadia has bigger problems that need my attention. Your instincts were right. That meanie pulling strings from the shadows is none other than a Sat Pramod.
Who else would want to kick a Ha's head like a ball?
So, I need to get back and finish my job.
Investigating a Lord Ravager sounds like a job you don't come back from.
Therefore, it also pays very well.
Then here's hoping you live long enough to collect your payment. Huh. Every time, when it's just the two of us, you go quiet.
You know what I'm going to say. The seabird's flown off. It's time for us to go too.
The terror slumbering at the heart of plain Arcadia is... Ouroboros.
After the swarm disaster, the Veracity vanished, never to appear again for more than 700 Amber eras. Their last rumored sighting was 500 years ago.
History fictionologists claim that Ouroboros lies in wait at the edge of the cosmos, guarded by their children, awaiting the day of their return.
I've heard that story before, but it wasn't about the edge of the cosmos. It was Pier Point. They say that the preservation is nothing more than a facade, and the IPC is, in truth, a cult devoted to the veracity.
Organic life has quite the imagination. They've said other things, too. That Louis Fleming seeks to ascend as the Eon of Wealth. That the Council of Mundanites are mere hounds of Dr. Primitive. That the Marketing Development Department colludes with the destruction, turning a blind eye to the spread of Stellarons. Such rumors are endless. I believe the General should be able to tell which are true and which are not.
I've never heard the last one, so let's assume it's the only one that's true. Such terrible breath. Once this Leviathan awakens, the Arcadia's destruction would be all but instantaneous.
For now, this remains conjecture. The sealed remains appear to be a husk that Ouroboros once shed. Why it's here, and how it's connected to the elation, remain unknown. Yet even a fragmented remnant of an Eon is a threat that can't be ignored. The calamity of the Leviathan must not be allowed to re-emerge in this world.
Naturally. That is why I'm here. And it's about time for the two Nameless to arrive. Oh, you're just on time.
General Yao Guang, as instructed, warding talismans have been placed at over a dozen sites across Plain Arcadia.
My thanks. It was Mr. Yang's talent of creation out of nothing that allowed us to reproduce dozens of plumes and complete the deployment with such speed. Now, with Yin and Yang aligned, and all four aspects in place, as long as we set up the last formation core, the Decalight reflection barrier will be complete.
Using the divine eye of the Spiritus to weave a giant web, one that ensnares countless possible futures. General, have you truly made up your mind?
Though Shuhu has been eradicated, the signs of doom have not faded. On the contrary, they grow ever clearer. After much consideration, the source can only be this restless corpse.
One crisis is yet to pass, and another is already upon us. The Arcadia's ley lines were already riddled with scars, and now even the ancient tree's seal is starting to loosen. While Evanesia is asleep, someone must take up her duty to guard this place.
But defending isn't the way of the hunt. If you don't want to become the prey, you must become the hunter.
General, do you intend to go on the offensive and suppress the remains of the veracity?
How could I? The Joy Seeker could barely confine that husk using the Abundance's ambrosial arbor as its cage. I'm not that arrogant as to place myself alongside the gods. I'm not here to guard against an Eon, but against a lesser menace. Lord Ravager Asat Pramod. This barrier is prepared for him.
Asat Pramod has been meddling with the game from the shadows. His intentions unclear. We know little about him or the veracity. By chance, however, a friendly citizen has provided us with intel.
Ouroboros' remains are in Ahatopia, aren't they? Silence is an answer in itself. I've seen that reaction too many times.
I'm not surprised that you were the first to discover it. You were in the Torn Scroll too. The probability of you noticing was 24%.
That's a little low, don't you think? I'd put it at well over 90.
What I don't understand is this. There were countless ways to verify your hypothesis. Yet you chose the most unconventional one. You bypassed security and broke into the building to confront me in person. What is your objective?
This is no confrontation. It's a warning, Madam Pearl. I'm a security officer, and there is only one reason I'm here. While everyone else is fixated on the Phantasmoon games, only the Department of Aberration Defense is watching other places.
Like the location where the new Herald of Death case was closed?
Correct. The incident involved 4 Daybreak warriors, 3 nameless, 1 detective, and 1 officer. But just moments ago, a 10th set of footprints appeared at the scene.
After the investigation, we learned that the traces were left deliberately. A blatant provocation.
The Lord Ravager bent on destroying the Elation came uninvited. Make no mistake. Planar Arcadia is a stage he chose with care, and drawing the Abundance into the fray was hardly a whim.
Our top priority is to dispose of Shuhu's flesh properly to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands and causing another calamity.
That said, we cannot afford to ignore Asat Pramad's next move.
This giant web is prepared for that very purpose. Once the entire planet is folded into the divination's trajectory, under the gaze of the Omnitia, all possibilities will be laid bare. When that time comes, he won't wish to leave any footprints behind.
One final question. Why did the Lord Ravager choose to visit this place? Does he have an ulterior motive? Or is this merely some twisted joke?
That question should be left to the professionals. Don't forget, we have a detective who can't seem to rest. Let's hope the accumulation of variables can tip the scales in our favor.
And so, the people set out, and the gondola, bound for distant lands, set sail. At the end of the world, the Elation once again declared war upon the Veracity. Hey, frail little humans! Ouroboros split their mouth wide open! Whoever can fill my whole mouth with but a single thing shall receive a reward, my tongue. The fool known as the Shepherd captured a comet, but it wasn't even enough to fill the gap between the Veracity's teeth. The bartender Braji opened the wine cellar, but they only grew drowsy, drifting off to sleep. And en route, he crept up to the Veracity's ear and told them a corny joke. The Veracity pondered it for 10 amber eras, then burst into laughter at their own amusement. En route spread his hands and said, "See? I filled your mouth with laughter."
Then what happened?
Then the Veracity said, "Are you kidding me?" And with that, they opened their gaping maw and tore en route to pieces.
What kind of nonsense is that?
Those are the facts, my inquisitive auditor. If you want to hear more stories, you're welcome to discuss with your classmates.
We came here to investigate the Veracity and Asat Pramad, but all we got were stories that only a 3-year-old would believe.
Rumors don't just appear out of thin air. It's just a matter of how much truth you think they hold.
At least 90% of that was made up.
Sometimes that last 10% is all you need. Oh, plenty of bystanders around. Let's hear what they have to say.
I need to fix this. Okay, I would put you at, put you here. Remove you. Throw a march in. There. I still have March in hunt mode, but she's still March. It's not like she's Evernight. Evernight's a completely different character.
They say a dull pen beats a sharp memory. My memory's dull, and my pen's not much better.
Then you must have a lot of stationery?
A kindred spirit. Miss, it seems you're one of us as well. I've met far too many fools who can't even read. Oddly enough, those of us who truly love learning are the rare ones. Interested in studying the knowledge of the laughter? I have a reference book here. You can have it.
So annoying. I'm just looking to, again, in terms of my reading contents. A site I used to go read at is no more. And it has moved some of their, at least some of the history and browsers to another site, but not all stories have been moved. Like, one story isn't available on Manga K as it was on the Manga Buddies, which I had to go find it on a different site. And some of the chapter and things I didn't bookmark, I have to figure out where at the point of the chapter I was at. It's the annoying thing.
This feels completely made up. But, thanks anyway.
Oh, please. Thank the seniors. To compile this book, they offended every Eon they possibly could, and narrowly escaped death at the hands of each and every one of them. As for me, I'm just the one who keeps the books circulating.
You two asking about the veracity? You thinking about walking that path?
Walk the path of veracity? Do I need to eat everything in sight?
You got it. Kids always dream big. Some are bulldozers, some are monsters, and I am Autoboros. Yeah, and the man.
Ugh, can you talk normal? Stop gulping for air.
I swore to become a veracity path strider. I eat everything. Tasty, nasty, Finally, I pinched my nose and swallowed Lou's load, and they looked at me!
Ouroboros.
Nah! Very regrettable.
Enough already.
I'm telling you, it was all bluffing. En route, Dorothy, who the veracity wasn't looking, roll up her skin like a grape, snatch it up and poach it. Then, poof, there we're gone. Comic-Con Collective don't got a veracity card. I already filed a formal complaint with the organizers.
You should be putting this much effort into your studies!
Hey, friends! How was your first day of school? Sparksy's here to pick you up after class. Where were you just now? You opened the door for us and just disappeared. Don't tell me you're up to something again.
Still doubting me? You're breaking Sparksko's heart here. That whole foolish thing. I took on every emoji in the tavern by myself, fought them all the way to the end of the world, and even wore my mask down to nothing! But honestly, this place runs on rumors. Aha is being chased by the veracity. Aha chases the veracity. We won't get anywhere following stories like this.
Let's go through what we know so far. Ooh. Yeah, it's a complete mess.
So, after a bit of thought, Lady Sparksy came up with a brilliant idea. I borrowed a nifty little gadget from a friend. The Unreal Sparks and Spark! No idea how it works, but apparently this light bulb makes you smarter the moment you put it on.
Does this friend know you borrowed it?
Supramod has a gun to our heads, and this is what you're worried about? He'll find out one day.
Well then, I'll go first.
It doesn't look very reliable. Are you sure about this?
No worries. If anything goes wrong, the friend in my head will protect me.
Doesn't seem to have any effect.
I know, she knows everything.
No, it's working perfectly. I get it now. All of it. No need to dance around. Our enemy is a Lord Ravager. There's only one question we need answered. How does Asat Pramod plan to destroy Elation?
Correction. The effect is very obvious.
Judging by Nanook's habit of picking Lord Ravagers, I wouldn't be surprised if Asat Pramod was once a masked fool, and therefore knows Aha's weakness. The Arcadia is like a microcosm of eons and paths. People indulge themselves in fabricated happiness, unable to pull themselves away from it. Many have expressed their concerns. This isn't elation. Aha is playing with fire.
A classic social realist deduction. Old-fashioned. Ooh, but effective. We're closing in on the truth.
Yes. The answer is all but revealed. You are Asat Pramod, Sparksy.
Do you have evidence?
Of course. The truth is so simple that everyone overlooked it. The evidence is... you are the the first person I met when I got off the express.
If I am Asat Pramod, would you and Grey Hair have been able to walk out of the school alive?
Yeah, fair point.
Just take that thing off already.
That's weird. I thought I was on the right track.
Let me give you a lesson. Deduction isn't about pupil skills. It's about smart tricks and flawless logic. Watch and learn. Sparkle, master of the classic whodunit, has entered the chat.
You changed your clothes just for this?
First of all, Ouroboros likes to eat. Secondly, whatever they eat disappears completely. Therefore, veracity is also a form of destruction. This is the classic mystery of one culprit, two identities. The one trying to kill Elation is... the Lord Ravager, Asat Pramod, played by the Veracity! What am I even saying?
Classic whodunit. This is more like a classic Who's the Dummy.
Ah, I get it now. All this thing does is make wild guesses sound reasonable. So far, that's the most accurate piece of information we've gotten.
No need to be so serious, Detective. Why don't you show us what you've got? By the way, what type of detective are you?
Me? I'm the tough guy type. I don't waste time on useless details. I aim straight at the heart of the problem. You're not wrong. Asat Pramod is Nanook's weapon to assassinate Aha. Whatever his plan may be, the target doesn't change. Remember, as far as humanity knows, there are only 3 ways an Eon can fall.
A broader path engulfs a narrower one. Divine warfare between eons, and the third one. What was it again?
Forcing an Eon to turn away from their own path.
Whichever it is, none of it sounds remotely connected to Plain Arcadia. So, what makes you so certain Asat Pramod is here on business, not on vacation?
Because we folks just dug up one heck of a treasure from underground. And in the stories tied to them, we've unearthed more than a few names worth paying attention to.
Him? He caused trouble in Gotham City a few days ago. Pearl threw him into prison.
I know. I was the one who caught him.
An old pal who can't stop lying. He goes on and on about death being a solitary feast, but I just saw him last week, alive.
I see you're acquainted. Please, introduce us sometime. Right. He's the one I can't stop thinking about. The stories change every time, but they all circle back to the same logic. En route, defeated the Veracity by some means.
You're right. Then who is this en route? Do you know him?
En route.
Of course she does! Everyone in the tavern knows that name. Long ago, its owner grew tired of jokes, cast aside his mask, and walked away. Some say he became a morning actor. Others say he jumped into IX's black hole. But none of that matters. What truly matters is that you have my unreal Sparks and Spark!
I knew it.
Give it back, give it back! That's a big order my client wants immediately!
What do you mean, give it back? It just wandered off, and I happened to find it on the way, so I brought it home. You want it? Here, take it now.
Absolutely not! Wait, right now? This doesn't sound like you at all.
No. If it's a no, it's a no. Guess I'll keep it. Bye-bye.
Get back here!
Sir, do you need to hire a private detective?
Hey!
Can you catch her for me?
Of course. I'll have that thing returned to you safe and sound in half a day. But, in exchange, I'd like you to elaborate a bit more on what you were saying.
Oh, so that's why you're here. Now, old Sempo's intel isn't cheap. Waiving the fee won't quite cut it, will it?
Name your price. Put it on Pearl's tab.
Ha! Just kidding. Money talks boring. Besides, the Astral Express and I go way back. Oh, and I wouldn't scam you two. The en route you're looking for lives up to the name. There's nowhere he can't reach. Only places he hasn't been yet. He's the gold standard of the masked fools. He only shows up where he's least welcome. A morning actor's stage, a friend's wedding, even inside the Veracity's mouth. All for the sake of a good laugh. Oh.
That lines up. Sounds like the origin of the legend. So, he's a friend of yours?
Not a chance! Back when old Sempo was still a kid, en route was already a name in the history books. He left the tavern during the Second Prosperity. They say after hearing 30 trillion jokes, he never laughed again. Before he left, en route said one thing that, at the time, no one cared about. Elation has been dead for a long time.
Where did he go after he left the tavern?
The tavern has 10,000 mouths, all telling different stories. All I know is this. He said he was headed for the true world's end, and then he vanished without a trace.
How do you know all this?
It's a possibility based on this information that en route became the, well, whatever, the dice guy. And the dice guy stayed. Sounding about in terms of elation is dead, I'm going to the true ends of the world. Sounds like he became a Lord Ravager. Or is connected. Well, well, I guess if we had some brighter characters, maybe. I guess this is why they had to get rid of Sparksy, since maybe she would have been bright enough to think about that. I guess this is what happens when we put two dumb characters, two characters who are relatively not intelligent together. Since, as said, this guy is supposed to be not that bright, and he's extremely lucky. And then we have March, who, again, is not that bright. Evernight's far smarter. rather preferred having Evernight as permanently taking her place.
Oh, I've been around long enough to have my own channels. Just trust old Sempo. And about catching Sparksy?
Leave it to me. I keep my word. See? You only need that 10% of the story to be true.
The last thing he said was really scary.
So many unanswered questions about en route. He has to be tied to Asat Pramod somehow. But our leads at the tavern have run their course. Let's go pay a visit to another expert next. Oh, speak of the devil. Only a Cianjo general could have arranged something like this, I suppose.
I'm surprised as well. You've only just left Amphorius, and already you've managed to draw the attention of another Lord Ravager.
Miss Ron May? And Miss Ting Yun?
We're here by General Yao Guang's request. It seems we arrived just in time.
At first, I only came because the Shenzhou extended an invitation, and it seemed impolite to refuse. Now that I'm here, I see it was well worth the trip. So, let me get to the point. Ouroboros has long been dead. Their death was merely buried beneath layers of secrecy.
Hardly surprising. They disappeared after the swarm disaster, and there are many different opinions on where they went. The Intelligentsia Guild claims the Veracity ate their fill and entered hibernation. I don't buy it. Those scholars are fond of post-meal naps themselves, likely just projecting their own habits.
You seem surprisingly calm, which makes sense. After all, the shadow in your right hand is evidence as well. Why don't you tell everyone what happened to the Galaxy Rangers back on Von Walk?
Von Walk?
Sprightly Von Walk. I've heard there's a particular phenomenon that occurs on that rainforest planet. Plants multiply and grow and are then harvested like wild grass. A cycle repeating every few decades. Almost identical to the Phantas Moon games.
But how are the two connected? When you hear plants and growth, shouldn't that make you think of abundance? Huh. Wait.
It seems you figured it out. By coincidence, abundance is another thing the two worlds have in common.
When coincidences pile up, they cease to be coincidences, Mr. Ashvale. No. Leader of the Rangers, Mr. La Mancha. Perhaps you could explain this to our nameless friend.
Back on Von Walk, I'd already long since stopped being a ranger. Your conjecture is basically correct, Miss Ron May. You're not the only genius to take life as a subject of study. By the time I arrived, the atavistic experiment was already approaching its final phase. Dr. Primitive had set his sights on an ancient leviathan. Beneath Von Walk's surface, there also lay the remains of the Veracity.
You stopped him.
The Rangers stopped him. Back then, Mr. M was still human.
Now, deep beneath Ahatopia,
Another corpse of the Leviathan lies buried. If I'm not mistaken, there are countless other worlds carrying out the same ritual. Aha sealed Ouroboros' body among the stars, suppressed it with abundance, siphoned the power of the Path of Veracity, and called it a game. This is what people call the Phantasmoon Games.
Uh-huh. Why would they do such a thing?
You may remember, the Express once delivered a Leviathan's carcass to me. That wasn't the only one in my collection. By arranging remains from different eras in sequence, I discovered something rather intriguing. At a certain moment over 1,000 Amber eras ago, just as Akivili began traveling in pursuit of their ideal, all creations of the Veracity lost the same organ. Their taste buds.
What does that imply?
The purpose of consumption changed. Be they spawns, depth crawlers, or void song whales, their genetic markers encoding gustatory organs vanished entirely. Creatures walking the path of veracity became nothing more than biological black holes, consuming without discrimination. This was not natural evolution. Through the simulated universe, I identified the point of divergence in history. A concept had disappeared from the path of veracity. Consider this. What do taste buds provide?
Yummy flavors?
Precisely. Savoring something's aftertaste is an act of elation.
So Aha stole the original Primum Mobile of the Veracity?
The simulated universe proves nothing on its own, but the primal desires of life have always been entangled. Think of it as my intuition. The conflict between the eons of elation and veracity stretches all the way back to primordial times.
How many people know about this?
There used to be 2. I only told Yu Qing to. Now, there are 5. After this, I can't be sure.
Exploit the old conflict between Aha and Ouroboros to ignite a divine war, or allow intersecting paths to devour one another. the 3 known ways to kill an Eon, the Arcadia fulfills at least 2. Now who still thinks Asat Brahman is here on vacation?
But you still haven't explained where it came from.
Oh, you mean the shadow? It has nothing to do with Funmark.
Oh?
Call it a twist of fate. This isn't my first encounter with the Astral Express, nor my first time dealing with a Lord Ravager. When my home was destroyed by Zulo, I had a brief encounter with a former navigator.
A navigator of the Express?
Yes. Starseer, I see. He'd already retired by then. He was the one who told me about the Shadow. According to IC, it was one of many remnants left behind when the Express first carved paths along the edges of the cosmos. I led the Rangers to suppress the Shadow, and devised the plan to assassinate Zulo. But I never learned why it was there in the first place.
Don't you find it strange, Mr. Ashvale?
Strange?
When coincidences pile up, they cease to be coincidences. Like an experiment with results that are too perfect, it's enough to send a chill down your spine. If you don't mind, let's walk through the whole thing once more. Earlier, what did you two uncover in the tavern?
Someone suspected to be Asat Pramod knew about the Veracity secret. Before disappearing, he said he was headed for the end of the world.
And then? Who did he say the Shadow belonged to?
A former navigator. The Shadow was a remnant left behind when he charted the cosmos.
If the world's end isn't the tavern, then where is it?
I don't know if anyone can answer that question. Not even Akivili. Wait. Don't tell me.
En route only goes where he isn't welcome. After leaving the tavern, he went to the Astral Express.
The detective game is over. I have to say, not many people can make me change my plans. Whether in the past or present, you've always been one of them.
So, it is you.
You know how it is, kid. I've always enjoyed arriving uninvited.
Pearl said she would arrange a ferry to pick us up at the Seafeld City dock. The place we're going to holds clues about Graphia. Really?
Ticket before boarding and be a model passenger.
We wish you a pleasant journey.
In all my previous business trips to Seafeld City, I never got sick.
Is that all?
The tour is over, and it's time for some rest.
It is an honor to, well, shall I say, be of service to you again. To be honest, when Madame Pearl invited you to visit the Perlux Tower, I was supposed to be your guide. I ended up being replaced by a total fraud. My name is Feld. By order of Madame Pearl, I will be escorting you to your destination.
Why is your clothes all pixelated? I'm sorry, I didn't get to have a chance to iron it.
You are too kind. I followed the battle in Seafeld City very closely. Serving a hero such as yourself is a true privilege. I assume Madame Pearl has already briefed you on our destination? I see. It so happens that Madame Pearl is tied up with an unforeseen event, so allow me to brief you in her stead. The destination of our boat journey is a hotel known as Inkford Hermitage. It is situated at the end of a Dovebrook tributary that ultimately flows into the sea. It is one of the points where the world in canvas intersects with reality.
Well, Graffia's former residence was located there. Legend says the miraculous encanvassing of the mortal world happened there. But would Madame Pearl, a die-hard fan, pass up a sacred site like that? Word is that Madame Pearl just flicked her wrist, signed a check with an astronomical figure, and bought the whole plot of land. She also snatched up every single piece of Graffia's lost works she could find without bothering to verify their authenticity. Whew, I guess money really does let you do whatever you want. That's not even the half of it. I don't know where her obsession comes from, but she's dead set on the idea that Graffia is still alive. If she gets even a whiff of anything remotely related to Graffia, she's got her people on it at the snap of a finger. But all they could find were Imagine knockoffs. Random, pretty redheads based on nothing but imagination. I bet her reaction went something like this. Objective. Locate the original. Error. Detecting excessive quantity of low-quality merchandise.
You! I remember you! You're that fraudster from Perlux Tower!
Perlux Tower? I've never set foot in that place in my life.
Oh, I know it's you. I've seen the footage. You're wearing the exact same outfit.
Oh, a slip-up in an otherwise perfect plan. Relax. Your job is safe this time.
Cut it out, you scoundrel! You can't talk your way out of this. Who exactly are you?
This is the author of Fluffy Across the Blue, Blurry QR Code.
Huh. Is that so? My apologies. How rude of me. Miss Colt, it's an honor to finally see the face behind the work. Please pardon my yelling. I didn't know.
No worries, no worries. Well, yes. Would you believe it if I said I was going on vacation?
Miss Blurry QR Colt, let's be clear. You are being transported under escort.
Your current credit balance is in the negative. Madame Pearl has offered you a lifeline by asking you to complete the next volume of the Fluffy.
Whoa, this is not my fault. Remember Alloy King Pom Pom from Pearlix Tower? I tried to put everything on Pearl's tab, but she found out and charged it back to me. Who knew a figurine could be so expensive? It cost me more than my entire savings. No way. It's obviously all Madame Pearl's fault.
So you're escorting her to, shall we say, an intensive creative retreat?
Correct. The objective is to deliver the manuscript and clear her debts. The estimated duration is 56 days.
Hear that? It's not a hotel. It's hell, where you get whipped for not finishing your scripts on time.
The boat has arrived. When you're ready, let's begin our journey to Inkford Hermitage. Please, mind your step as you board.
A single
We
orange
have
tree.
arrived. This is the snowy shore of the canvas world, Inkford Hermitage.
Oh. Are those Wispe floating on the water?
Oh dear, there are so many Wispe. They are blocking the boat's route. But no need to panic. Please follow my lead.
Port. Please make sure you have all of your belongings with you, and watch your step while disembarking. Thank you for traveling on this void liner.
What, you expect me to do something? Yes, can you please clear them out? Let me think about it. I shall now contemplate.
Nice. Nice. Nice! 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 Nice!
want to make a snowman. Really?
A
That
safe
meme?
docking. For a second, I thought we were going to hit an iceberg or something. They probably sensed your wish power. You are the Phantas Moon Games superstar, no? Look! One's trying to hitch a ride on you. Must have been when we came ashore. Oh, what a devoted fan.
Everyone, welcome to Inkford Hermitage.
I was imagining a Benzai Tengoku style manor or something. So you demolished your idol's old residence and replaced it with a luxury hotel.
Of course not. Benzai Tengoku vanished more than 1,000 years ago. The original structure is long lost to time. The IPC only chose this location because this is one of the weakest points between reality and the world in canvas. Many Imaginae are born every day, but just as many ancient lineages of Imaginae hide themselves away in the world in canvas once their wish power dry up, or as they grow weary of the mortal world. This is the final stop before they enter the world in canvas, and this is where they bid farewell to reality. They rest here, organize memories spanning centuries, and then pass beyond the point of no return. Rumor has it that Graphia's soul appears from time to time to guide these weary Imaginae on their path.
There's a sense of parting in the air. No wonder the soul of the mother of Imagenesis feels an attraction for a creator. This must be the finest well of inspiration.
Miss Colt, now that you're in this well too, you ought to make the most of it. Let's go. I'll lead the way.
Bad jokes. So, we got some bad jokes following us. Okay, now we have to...
Is that all?
Yeah. This is the life. Not having to walk.
Let's wait.
Is that?
Ah, the golden tree in the distance. We call it Myriad Wish Grove. It's said that it shares the same lineage as the sacred trees on the floating island of Seafeld and the Phantas Moon courtyard.
Didn't see this coming.
We have arrived. The hotel staff will take over from here. I'll take my leave.
Oh, it's freezing. It's cold enough for a typical snowstorm mansion murder mystery. Anyone here? Here. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Honored guests, my apologies for the late welcome.
Oh, no wonder it's so cold. It's an actual snow wispy. Hello there, little one.
I am the lobby manager, Casper. You have a very high body temperature. Please, try not to overheat the room.
Haha, Casper. It's a whisper, and its name is Casper. And it's friendly.
A Allow me to introduce myself. I am the popular comic artist, Blurry.
The former comic artist, Miss Nyalux.
Oh, my true name is gone, just like that. Oh wait, did you say former?
The big shots upstairs gave me a heads up. You are now an asset of Perlux Corp. You'll be staying here until you finish your next volume. Every guest in this hotel is an Imaginé with quite a history. That Arcadian over there? That's a former superhero.
Which one? Never heard of him.
That one over there is one of the oldest strangelings. They're a former Kappa. These days, they work as the hot springs manager.
A Kappa? Didn't that lineage of Imaginé go extinct when the IPC first arrived?
There are still a few survivors that slipped through the net. As for Casper myself, I am a former frost giant. Little old me was once a tall, mighty, and majestic giant. Of course, that was back in the Cinder Age.
So you're basically an antique who knows a bunch of old secrets. What corner did they dig you out of?
From a block of ice. It is sad how a giant block of ice melts into tiny pieces over time. I have forgotten the names of most of my friends. And I have not tasted a crispy, charred Void Ranger in a long, long while now. Sightings of Lady Graphia are as common as the snowflakes here. Ever since the news spread that her soul would reside at the hotel, all those Imaginé who mimic her and the weirdos who insist they have a connection to her have flocked here. You see, they all claim they have some sort of connection to her, or hold some secret about her.
I bet they're just trying to scam people out of wish power and credits. Just like all those people who swear they're AHA.
You're not wrong. But whenever the higher-ups ask for a report, little old Casper here can always pad it out and hand over a long list of names. Nameless, good luck with your inquiries. Bye now.
Okay, I'm gonna stop for now. Sorry that this is short. A lot of me studying